Hello students, in this video we will continue with our topic reflection of light, and here in this video we will discuss about spherical lenses and their ray diagram. So let's start. Now we have studied about reflection of light. What basically the reflection of light is, it is the bending of light when it passes from one medium to another. Now one of the application of reflection of light, or we can say that the objects which uses the phenomena of reflection of light, will discuss about them. So that is spherical lenses. Spherical lenses, what are basically these lenses? Spherical lens is a piece of transparent glass bound by two spherical surfaces. That means if you will take two spherical surfaces and if you will bound them, so what you will get is a lens. So this lens basically works on the phenomena of reflection of light. We are having two types of lenses. One is the convex lens, second is concave lens. Convex lens is a lens which is thicker at the center and thinner at the edges. You can see such type of a lens which is thicker at the center and thinner at the edges is known as convex lens. Second type is concave lens. Concave lens is a lens which is thin at the center and thick at its edges, like this. So these two are the types of lenses about which we will discuss in this video. Now let's start with the terms related to lenses. The very first term is optical center. What basically the optical center is? It is the center point of a lens. So optical center is basically the center point of any lens. If this is a convex lens, so center point will be this. So this will represent optical center for convex lens. And for a concave lens, if this is the center point, so this will represent the optical center of a concave lens. Second term is principal axis. It is a line passing through the optical center of a lens and perpendicular to both the faces of the lens. As we have discussed in case of mirror, that a straight line passing through pole and center of curvature was the principal axis. But here we will define a straight line passing through optical center and perpendicular to both the faces is known as its principal axis. So this is the principal axis for convex lens. And if I draw a line perpendicular to both these faces and passing through optical center, so this will be the principal axis for concave lens. Next is principal focus and focal length. If we talk about convex lens, so it is a point on the principal axis to which light rays parallel to the principal axis converge after passing through the lens. This is our convex lens. So if the rays of light are parallel to principal axis, so after passing through this lens, the phenomena of reflection will occur, and this lens will converge all the rays to meet at a single point, and that point is known as focus or principal focus. So, and the focal length. Focal length is the distance between focus and optical center of a lens. So, that is represented with small f, and here this represents focus. Every lens will have two focus. One lies on the left hand side and the other lies on the right hand side. But here the rays of light are actually meeting, so we can say that the focus of a convex lens will always be real. So we can say that it is having a real focus. If we talk about the nature of a lens, as it converges the parallel rays of light, so this lens is converging in nature. If we talk about concave lens, so the principal focus for a concave lens is a point on the principal axis from which light rays originally parallel to the axis appear to diverge after passing through the lens. That means if the parallel rays of light strike this lens, so those light rays gets diverged. Means they are not meeting actually, it appears as if they all are meeting at a common point, and this point is known as principal focus for a concave lens. As we can see that here rays are not meeting actually, so it appears as if they are meeting, so we will call that its focus is virtual in nature. So a concave lens will have a virtual focus, a convex lens will have a real focus. If we talk about the nature of a convex lens, as it diverges the rays of light which are falling on it. So its nature is diverging. So we can say that concave lens is a diverging lens. Next, we'll discuss about the rule for the formation of image in a convex lens. So the very first rule, it says that if a ray of light is parallel to principal axis, we all know that this is the principal axis. If a ray of light is parallel to principal axis, so after refraction through the lens, it will pass through focus. That means if a ray of light is coming parallel to principal axis, so after refraction, it will pass through focus. Second rule, it says that if a ray of light is passing through focus, so after refraction through the lens, it will become parallel to principal axis. As you can see here that this ray of light is passing through focus, so after refraction, it is parallel to principal axis. If we talk about third rule, it says that if a ray of light is passing through optical center, so it will go straight. So in this case, this is the ray of light. If it is passing through optical center, so it will not bend, its path will not deflect, it will go straight. So these are the three rules that we will utilize in the formation of ray diagram. Now here we will discuss about 6 different cases for the formation of image using convex lens. First case, when we'll place our object between optical center and focus, then at focus, then between f and 2f, then at 2f, then beyond 2f, and finally at infinity. So these 6 cases we are going to study here. So let's start with the first case, when object is placed between optical center and focus. So here I place the object AB, which is placed between optical center and focus. So how to draw the ray diagram? One ray of light will be parallel to principal axis. We know that if a ray of light is parallel to principal axis, so after refraction through the lens, it will pass through focus. Second ray of light you will pass as if it will pass through optical center. So this ray of light is passing through optical center. So here we can see that these rays are diverging. That means they will not meet in this direction. But if we extend them, so they can meet in this direction. So on extended these two refracted rays, it appears as if the image will be formed at this point. As we have discussed about the reflection of light, we have discussed that in reflection of light, the point where the two reflected rays will meet, at that point image will be formed. Here in reflection of light, the concept is same, that the point where two refracted rays of light will meet, the image will be formed at that point. So these two are the refracted rays of light in this direction, they will not meet, but if we extend them, it appears as if these rays will meet in this direction, so image will be formed at this point. If we talk about the nature, position and size of image, so nature, here the rays are not meeting actually, it appears as if they are meeting, so the nature of image will be virtual. As the image is formed above principal axis, so it will be erect. So we can say that nature of image formed here is virtual and erect. If we talk about the position of image, as the image is formed behind object, so we can say that the position of image is behind the object or on the left of the lens. If we talk about size, in comparison to the size of object, the size of image is large enough, so we can say that either it is enlarged or magnified. Next is second case, when object is placed at focus. So if I place the object at focus, so we'll draw the ray diagram in a similar manner. One ray of light will be parallel to principal axis. According to rules, if a ray of light is parallel to principal axis, so after refraction through this lens, it will pass through focus. Second ray of light is passing through center of curvature, and according to rules, we know that it will pass straight without any deflection. So here we can see that these two refracted rays of light are parallel. So we can say that image will be formed in this direction. If the rays are meeting in this direction, so the nature of image here will be real and inverted. If we talk about position, if image is formed in this direction and at infinity, so we can say that position of image formation will be at infinity. And if we talk about the size, so it will be highly enlarged. Next case, that is third case, when object is placed between f dash and 2f dash. That means if we place the object between f and double the distance of f, that is 2f. So how to draw the ray diagram? One ray of light will be parallel to principal axis. According to first rule, a ray of light parallel to principal axis will pass through focus. Second ray of light is passing through optical center, so it will not get deflected, so it will move straight. So these two refracted rays of light are meeting at this point. So the point where the two refracted rays of light will meet, at that point image will be formed. So the image of this object AB will be formed at this point, and the image is A dash B dash. Here the rays of light are actually meeting and the image is formed below principal axis. So we can say that the nature of image here will be real because the rays are actually meeting, and inverted because the image is formed below principal axis. Position, as the image is formed behind this 2f. So we can say that the position of image will be beyond 2f, and size, in comparison to the size of object, the size of image is enlarged. So the size is enlarged. Next, fourth case, when object is placed at 2f dash. So if we'll place our object at 2f dash, so one ray of light will be parallel to principal axis. So this ray of light will pass through focus. I need not to explain again and again that why it will pass through focus. Second ray of light is passing through optical center. So these two refracted rays of light are meeting at this point, that is at 2f dash. If the object is AB, so image will be A dash B dash. So here the rays of light are actually meeting, so the nature of image will be real and inverted. Position of image, as the image A dash B dash is formed at point 2f, so its position will be 2f. If we compare the size of object and image, so that appears to be same, so the size of image will be same as that of object. Fifth case, when object is placed beyond 2f dash, that means if we will place our object AB behind this, beyond this 2f dash, so how the ray diagram will look like. One ray of light is parallel to principal axis, so as usual it will pass through principal focus. Second ray of light is passing through optical center, so it will go straight without any deflection. Now these two refracted rays of light are meeting between f and 2f, so we will say that the image A dash B dash will be formed between f and 2f. As the rays of light are actually meeting, so nature of image will be real and inverted. Position is between f and 2f, and size, in comparison to the size of object, the size of image is diminished. Sixth case and the last case for the formation of image in a convex lens when object is placed at infinity. Now we have discussed in part reflection of light that when object is placed at infinity, so we will show it with the help of parallel rays of light. If we are showing parallel rays of light, so it indicates that object is placed at infinity and these rays are coming from a distance of infinity. So here also we'll draw the parallel rays of light as if they are coming from the object which is kept at infinity. So if the rays of light are parallel to principal axis, so they will converge to pass through focus and they will meet at focus. So here if the refracted rays of light are meeting at focus, so image will be formed at focus. Nature, as the rays are actually meeting, so its nature will be real and inverted. If we talk about the size, point size image is formed in comparison to the size of object, so we'll say that the size of image is highly diminished. Next is formation of image by a concave lens. Till now we have studied about the formation of image for a convex lens. Now we'll start with the convex lens, but before starting with the ray diagram, let's discuss about the rules for the formation of image. If we talk about first rule, if a ray of light is parallel to principal axis, so it will pass through focus. But we know that the concave lens is diverging in nature. It will not converge the rays as that they will meet, that they will actually pass through focus. It basically diverges the rays of light which are falling on it. So if a parallel ray of light strike this lens, so it will get diverged. So actually, so it will not pass through focus. But if you will extend this diverged rays, if you will extend this refracted ray of light, so it will pass through focus. So if a ray of light is parallel, so it will diverge as if it is coming from focus. Second rule says that if a ray of light is striking this lens, as if it will pass through focus, so after refraction it will become parallel to principal axis. Third rule, if a ray of light passes through optical center, so it will pass straight without any deflection in its path. Now let's start with the formation of image via concave lens. Here we'll discuss only two cases: when object is placed between optical center and infinity, and second case when we'll place our object at infinity. So let's discuss about first point. So here we have placed our object between optical center and infinity, means we can place our object anywhere between optical center and infinity. So if the object AB is placed at this point, so one ray of light will be parallel to principal axis. After refraction, it will diverge as if it will pass through focus. It will diverge as if it is passing through focus. Second ray of light will pass straight through optical center and it will go straight without any deflection. So here these two rays of light are meeting, so image will be formed at this point. Here we can see that image formed is A dash B dash and it is above this principal axis. So its nature is erect. Second thing, here the rays are not meeting, actually it appears as if they are meeting, so nature will be virtual. So the nature of image formed by a concave lens for this case is virtual and erect. Position, the image is formed between optical center and focus. If we talk about the size, so it is diminished in comparison to the size of object. Next is when object is placed at infinity, so we'll show it with the help of parallel rays of light as if they are coming from an object which is placed at infinity. So if the rays of light are parallel, so after refraction they will diverge as if these two reflected rays of light will meet at F dash, so image will be formed at F dash. Here the nature of image will be virtual and erect because the rays are not meeting actually. Position will be at focus and size will be highly diminished. Next is uses of concave and convex lens. So if we talk about convex lens, the very first use that we are using these lenses in our specs. If we are, that convex lens is used in our specs to correct hypermetropia. Hypermetropia is a defect of vision in which the nearer objects are not clearly visible. So to correct such type of defect, we are using convex lens. Second use, that convex lens is used in simple camera. Third, it is used as a magnifying glass. Next, it is used in microscopes, telescopes and projectors. If we talk about concave lens, so it is used in our spectacles to correct myopia. Myopia is a defect of vision in which the farer objects are not clearly visible to us. So, concave lens is used to correct such type of defects. Next, concave lens is used in combination with the convex lens in some high quality optical instruments. Then concave lens is used as a spy hole in doors. So these were the few uses of concave and convex lens, and with this we finish with this part. Thank you.